Greetings, this is Jim Phillips with Remember Veteran Grave Markers and organizer for Camp 14, the John S Kountz Camp in Toledo, Ohio. Welcome. Today I want to talk to you about a camp we are establishing, or at least are desiring to establish here in the greater Toledo area. Lucas County, Fulton County, Wood County, Ottawa County, the surrounding counties of Lucas County. And we're trying to pull together a camp so that we can honor our veterans of the Civil War. Now, we do not have a camp that is in the local area. This is an important thing. And I think it's important because we have a number of Civil War veterans. And while one can say, well, that was a long time ago, so the reality is that we all have most likely family members who served in the Civil War, and whether it was on the North or the South, but we have family members who served in the Civil War and are part of our ancestral history for our family and that of our cousins. So I want to share with you a few things that you ought to be aware of so you can take a look at it. The first I want to point out is the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War. Now, the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War is the follow-on organization to the Grand Army of the Republic. Now, the Grand Army of the Republic consisted of veterans of the Civil War. That's pretty much it. So those who served in the Civil War were part of the Grand Army of the Republic. The Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War was created later to include family members, male family members, to remember that which the Grand Army of the Republic took part in. So it's a remembrance hereditary organization that is founded based on the principles of the Grand Army of the Republic. Now, there are other organizations that are allied to the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War. And they are, interestingly enough, these are the daughter versions, the female versions of the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War. First off, there's the auxiliary to the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War. It's the women's auxiliary. That does some great work, and it's a female-only organization. Another organization is the Daughters of Union Veterans of the Civil War. Not like the auxiliary, which is the auxiliary to the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War, but does stand alone. The Daughters is a standalone organization, and it also represents women who's had family members who served in the Civil War. Now, there is a final one that is rather interesting, and it's the Ladies of the GAR, Ladies of the Grand Army of the Republic. Now, these are, again, the female descendants of Civil War veterans, and they also represent a constituency as well. I think probably when you look at the auxiliary, the ladies, and the daughters, you have a sizable group. Whereas in the men's organization, the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War, I couldn't find an allied organization similar to that. There are some tangential ones that deal with veterans in general of that period, but not necessarily specific to the Civil War. What I want to leave you with is this. Here in Lucas County, we are establishing a camp, and we need men to step up to join. This will give us an opportunity to do the things we ought to do in remembrance of our ancestors. Our ancestors are in need of our support. And whether you're 14 or 400, Methuselah age, you are asked to join to be part of this organization. So what do we in fact do? So we do this. Do two things at least. We will remember Memorial Day on May 30th That is the official Memorial Day for the Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War. That was the one that was identified by General Logan as the day. It's not the federal holiday, it's the actual day that we're going to remember, which is May 30th. The second thing is that we're going to attend to the graves and support the graves of the Union veterans that we have interred here in Lucas County and in the surrounding counties. I might add, be a part of that, either to care for or help in some ways in the ways of service projects and assistance. And the third one is to learn. If we want to learn more about our family members, because some of us will join with very little understanding or knowledge of our family members. What I want to propose is that we will provide assistance in understanding and some genealogical help to help you better understand your family and what they did and where they were at. I believe it's going to be a great time and people will learn and it'll be fun. But with that, this is one of the few things that you can pass on to your children that will cost little, other than taking time, creating understanding, and presenting to them their heritage. So if you're a military person, this is a great way to be able to fortify your military pedigree. If you're not, but you have history there, you can be part of a founding organization. So when we established Camp 14, John S Kountz Camp, this will be our charter membership. So people who are on the charter at the time of chartering, when we organize, will be there forever. Their names will be enshrined as charter members. Now, of course, you'll have to renew membership every year because it is an organization that requires membership. But it is something that would be beneficial to you and something you can share with your family members for the future. So, okay, with that being said, I just want to thank a couple of our people that provide assistance, the National Veteran Business Council, the Military Veteran Organization Task Force, both provide assistance. Wreaths Across America has provided assistance in regards to support and publication, as well as the benefactors of Remember Veteran Grave Markers, whom I am the president of, and the folks in Lucas County who have stepped up and said, yes, I'm interested. I want to point out the final thing is that we have, from the beginning of the Grand Army of the Republic, you then had the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War, and then you had the daughters of veterans of the Civil War, the auxiliary of the veterans of the Civil War, and then they had the ladies of the GIR. All of these are important ancestral organizations to support men and women who want to remember their history, particularly that in this great era of social change in the 1860s. This is a good opportunity to help remember and fortify your knowledge and that of your family. With that being said, you take care. God bless. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. Comment if you wish, but please share. Thank you. God bless. Take care.